Hey y'all, it's Ben. Hope your week was great. I'm in a great mood, doing fine. This week was a little bit rough. We're gonna talk about it. It's mostly my foot though. I don't think that this is a Mounjaro related thing. The problem is my appointment isn't until next week for my podiatrist, so I can rule it out completely. I'm really hoping it's not, because if you're coming here to wonder if this Mounjaro works, I'm telling you it works, both for my diabetes and for my weight. I started off at 474 glucose. That was a 10.6 A1C 3 months ago. And just the other day, got test result back. My average glucose reading is in the 90s, low 90s, and my A1C was 5.4. And that happened over the course of 3 months. So basically, if I got tested now, people wouldn't even know I was diabetic. They'd say, you're not diabetic, 5.4. Of course, I am diabetic. It's just well controlled through Mounjaro. So there's the answer to that question. If you're wondering about obesity, I can also tell you yes. As I'm nearing my goal weight, right? I can tell you that yes, it does indeed work, and it works almost too well. And you wonder why I say that. And I say that because I'm getting close to my goal weight now, something I thought I'd never ever say in a million years. I never thought it would even come out of my mouth, that I am getting close to the weight that I want to be at. And I don't want to go below that because I don't want to get sand kicked in my face when I go to the beach with my new physique, if it's too skinny, these kind of things happen. Anyway, I don't want to get too emaciated looking, right? I want to maintain a fairly good looking, firm body. I got to trim it up a little bit now that I've lost all this weight. But that aside, I don't want to go too low is what I'm trying to say. So now I need to worry about bringing in enough calories to maintain while still getting the benefits for the diabetes. So it's going to be a balancing act, and I'm going to talk to my doctor. I kind of did the last appointment we had, and we agreed that we would talk to it about it a little closer to the time. But she already has some plans in action. She's got other patients that she's done this with. She's taken them down in dosage, and they've been able to maintain that, that diabetes glucose control without gaining any weight. In fact, they've been able to maintain a good weight at a lower dose. So that's what I'm hoping to do initially. But as you know, and a lot of people are poo-pooing me and saying it's not possible, Ben. As you know, my long-term goal is to come off this completely and just do it through diet and exercise alone. I really believe I can do it, and I believe in myself. So I think it's going to happen. Do I think everybody could do it? No. It's like everything else. There are extremes to things, right? Some people have diabetes worse than others, right? Mine's not terrible. It hasn't affected me too terribly. It hasn't affected my body in ways that it has affected other people's bodies. So it's all a matter of degree, really. So that's your answer. Yes, it does work, both diabetes and weight. I'm down to 100 last week it was 166. We're going to weigh here in a couple of minutes, and see what I'm down to now, or possibly up to. I may have gained some this week, who knows? I'm not really too concerned about it at this point, as the trend is lower. So if it's starting to slow down, that's fine by me, right? That's less work I have to do to bring in more calories to maintain the weight. So I can never believe, I just can't believe the words that are coming out of my mouth, y'all. I'm so happy, and I just can't even get over it. I'm emotional about it, and I never get really emotional about stuff like this, but I am now. I know what it's doing for my health, I can already feel it in my physical being. I can already, my brain is clearer. I feel better when I wake up. Throughout the day, I've got way more energy. I'm staying up later at night now. It's just, all right. Anyway, so you're here anyway to find out what my readings are this week. This is an update week. But I wanted to talk about a couple of the comments, because I did ask the question last video. I did ask for the comments about diabetes versus obesity. Should we prioritize one over the other? And my opinion was that I didn't think we should. Because obesity, at least in my eyes, is just as big as a health problem as diabetes. In fact, obesity is the #1 cause of diabetes. So if people were treated for obesity before they got diabetes, maybe that would prevent that disease. But once you get diabetes, you got it. So I don't know. I just don't understand the difference, right? I don't understand the difference between the diseases. Somebody explain it to me, please. It's gotten to such silly proportions now that my coagulation nurse, I go see her once a month to get a blood reading on my blood thin, to see how thin my blood is, because I got an artificial heart valve, long story short. Anyway, she was on Mounjaro. And a couple visits ago, she told me that she had gotten kicked off Mounjaro, right? Because her insurance wouldn't cover it any longer. But instead, she was getting put on this stuff called Zepbound. They were able to work something out for a much higher copay, mind you, that she's going to be put on Zepbound. Wow. Well, she's a nurse, right? So she knows Mounjaro and Zepbound, same exact product in a different bottle with a different label. This is getting to stupid proportions. Why can't we just get back to the good old days, right? I got a headache, you take an aspirin, right? My foot hurts, take an aspirin. You take an aspirin for both, for both things. Just like you take Mounjaro for both diabetes and weight loss. You can do that. You don't need to change the label for that. But they couldn't cash in on you either, right? They couldn't cash in on the obesity that's a #1 problem in the United States right now. They might as well cash in on that, right? That's the way they look at it. So that's what they're doing. They're just cashing in on the obese people over the diabetes patients, because you cash in on diabetes patients, people feel a certain kind of way towards you. You do it to obese people and nobody's gonna say anything, right? I don't know. I'm just kidding. Okay, way off subject. So I promise you, we're gonna get to the blood glucose. In fact, let's do that right now. And then I want to read a couple comments if you guys want to stick around. But there's a couple people that come just to see the update every week, see how I'm doing, right? And then they don't care about what I have to say. They just go along their merry way and go watch something more interesting. I can't blame you. Anyway, so let's do that. Let's talk about my blood sugar. This week my average was 94.16. So my doctor said, Ben, I want your blood glucose, your waking blood glucose, that is, to be between 90 and 100. Right? That's exactly where I want it, and that'd be perfect, between 90 and 100. So today, my average this week, over the course of the last week, I've been taking my blood glucose every morning. I only took it one time a day this week, but my blood glucose, 94.16. So that's right in the dang middle. So I'm happy with that. It's exactly perfect, right in the center of perfect even. Couldn't get more perfect almost. So I'm happy with that. My weight, I don't know. My weight last week was 166.4. So I'm not sure what my weight is this week. I'm not trying to wiggle out any kind of responsibility, but I will say that Mounjaro sometimes gives you constipation. It always gives me constipation, but occasionally for other people is what I hear. But for me, it's always. And that's the situation right now. I think I'm going to be working through it later on today, but right now, I wanted to just use it as a disclaimer and say it may add a couple of pounds this week because it's been a constipated week. Let's put it that way. We're going to talk about all this stuff after I weigh in. Let's weigh in. You ready? Okay, guys. First of all, sorry for the dusty scale. My dog's been running ruckshod over the house. It's been a busy week. And I need to do some cleaning this weekend. Anyway, let's find out. So like I said, last week I was at 166.4. So this week, $159.4. I'm below 160. I don't remember the last time I was below 160. I think it was when I was still growing up. Honestly, it had to have been high school or before, even before high school. I think it was like 180 in high school. Dang. Man. No wonder I got so much energy. I'm not lugging around all that damn weight no more. 7 pounds in a week, y'all. How about that? There's your does it work, right? A week, 7 pounds. I need to talk to the doctor because My goal, my weight goal is 150 to 160, right? I'm at 160. So as we get near the middle, 165 is like right where I want to keep it. That's the perfect of the perfect, 165. And we're going to be weighing myself weekly to make sure that I'm like laying in there between 150 and 160. I need to slow down the weight loss. I cannot lose 7 pounds this week, because if I do, I might be going underneath my goal weight, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be getting sand kicked in my face, y'all. Wow. That's it. That's the update. Blood sugar 94.16, weight 159.4. How about that? Let's talk about some of the comments. There's some great ones. A lot of people wishing me well and saying I'm doing great, and I have to agree with you. Mounjaro is working great for me. It's, at least with my diabetes and my weight, it's doing wonders. I do have some side effects that I'm not 100% convinced are Mounjaro, but I'm going to be asking my doctor this next week if they are. I know that some of them are, like the nausea. We're going to talk about that stuff in a minute. But some of the comments, Jeannie Partlow, 7931, she said, so many of our illnesses come from obesity. Cure obesity and make a big dent in reducing other diseases. I couldn't agree more, right? I wouldn't probably have diabetes if I wasn't obese. If this stuff was around 10, 20 years ago or easily accessible to somebody like me, then maybe I wouldn't have diabetes today. Imagine that, right? Curing the disease before it's even there. But this is why I say obesity is a disease in and of itself. And then not only is it a terrible disease, it causes other diseases like diabetes, heart problems, all kinds of stuff. So we talked about in the last video, why did I read this comment? The last video we were talking about whether people should be prioritized, people with diabetes should be prioritized. It's just silly, all the label changes and all that kind of stuff. And I disagreed that we should even make any distinction between the two diseases. I even went as far as to say that I thought obesity, I mean, if you're rating diseases, is probably worse than diabetes on the face of things. You know, situations vary. There are levels, right? There are degrees. That's all I'm trying to say. Michael Lawful Audits had a great comment. He agreed. He said, I think we should all be respectful to each other like brothers. Couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more, Michael. Great comment. Elizabeth V 1559, she asked me, how many times a day do I take my glucose reading? How many times a day do I do it? These days, I'm down to 1 time a day. I do it when I wake up. I have a couple cups of coffee. I don't put any sugar or anything in my coffee. It probably elevates my blood pressure a little bit, but my sugars are always okay in the morning. That's when I do it. It's like waking kind of after my coffee. I do it when I have enough energy. Before that, when I was trying to get an idea where my blood glucose was throughout the day, I would take it at different times throughout the day, right? At different occasions. Like if I ate something, I would take it before I ate, and then I would eat something and I took it after I eat, because I was experimenting with how it affected my blood sugars, because I needed to learn that about myself, because these things affect everybody's blood sugars differently, right? I could eat an ice cream cone, and that would affect my blood sugars differently than somebody else that ate that same ice cream cone. A different ice cream cone, you know what I'm saying. A different ice cream, I already ate the other ice cream cone. They're eating a different one. Same size and everything, but their sugar might go up way bigger than mine. Who knows? Everybody's different. That's all I'm saying. Here's a comment that I wanted to talk about. It's very interesting to me to see these comments, right? I love the ones that wish me well and everything, but these ones that give the updates and all that stuff, they're just very intriguing to me. Hassenmeyer says, I'm morbidly obese and pretty hopeless. Any diet I ever tried usually yielded decent results, but so hard to maintain over time. I know what you mean, man. Same thing happens to me, and I'll bet 99% of the people that are watching this can relate with that. We're all in this together. We're all the same, really. He goes on to say, he says, I pay $550 a month. For your information, that's about $137.50 per injection. That's a lot of money. He's got it though. Thank God he's got it, because his insurance won't pay for it, right? And insurance companies not paying for obesity medications are terrible. Terrible people, and if you work for one, you should quit. That's all I'm saying. He says, in my mind, that's way cheaper. He goes on to say, in my mind, that's cheaper than my other options, which include eating myself to death, diabetes, or bariatric surgery. And then he says he's going to be doing a video about it, and he's going to upload it, I think, to YouTube. I told him, I said, let us know when you put it up there, and we'll go check it out. And I'll talk about it in my vlog here. In fact, maybe we'll do a watch party. That'd be kind of cool to go watch his video. Can't wait to see it, man. Let us know when it drops, and we'll watch it together. That'd be fun. I thought that, well, I'm going to be taking my Mounjaro 5 milligram injection here, but I thought while I'm in the process getting ready to do that and showing you guys my ever improving, although ugly to look at, belly region, we would talk about other stuff. And I wanted to talk about the side effects this week with Mounjaro. I had particularly bad nights on Friday and Saturday. I started getting really, really tired. This is last Friday and last Saturday. I started getting really, really tired Friday around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I ended up going to bed early, like 5 o'clock that afternoon. And I slept all night. My foot kept waking me up, and that's another issue we'll talk about in a minute. But I slept all night, waking up with the foot pain. And then the next day, Saturday, I pretty much spent the whole day in bed because Saturday morning, very early, I was trying to go to the bathroom, and I ended up getting sick really bad. And like there was nothing in there to get sick with. It was just total nausea. I was just totally nauseous, that's all. Nothing to come up, just nauseous. It was awful. Sunday morning, I woke up feeling great. So I don't know. Is it the 5 milligram dose that I'm on that's doing this to me? Probably. Do I have some responsibility to make sure that this doesn't happen to me? I think maybe I should take some responsibility to go out there looking more thoroughly for other people that have this situation that were able to overcome it. That's really the side effect that I can probably most attribute to Mounjaro this week is the nausea. I still get that. I think I'm still getting used to the 5 milligram dosage. I've only been on it a pretty short while. So some people say it can take up to a month until you fully acclimatize your body to it. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm coming up on that. So here we go. Anyway, so one of the reasons that I went in to the doctor in the first place and got put on Mounjaro because of my diabetes was because I was getting a foot tingle, and it was kind of bothering me. So I made an appointment and went in there. And of course, the first thing she did was check my blood and realize I was diabetic, and that was a problem probably. So got put on the medication. Now I'm doing fine that way, but my foot continues to get worse as far as the pain goes. I actually made an appointment, went in and had it x-rayed, and it came back and they said that I've got arthritis, osteoporosis arthritis or something like that. And I need to go in and make a specialist appointment to a podiatrist. So that's what I did. But that was 2 weeks ago, and my appointment's not till next week. So 3 weeks to the appointment. My doctor gave me 12 tramadol pills. So, no, 14 tramadol pills, because it's 7-day supply, 2 a day is what she limited me to. And I ran out of those after the first week. So I'm getting ready to go on week 2 with my foot in total pain, hoping they can figure me out when I go in there that day. At least maybe give me something for the pain. You know what I mean? I'm still in a great mood though, despite my foot. And this could be Mounjaro related, although I've never heard anybody having this kind of issue with the Mounjaro and the foot pain and that stuff. It could be, everybody's different, but it also could be because my body's changing so rapidly, and changes in my body are happening, and who knows? Who knows what we're gonna find? Who knows? So who knows? It could be that. It could be the Mounjaro. It could be, I'm old because I just turned, I'm not 60 yet, y'all. I'm 59. I just turned 59, in fact, this last week. So it could be that I'm just getting old, which is a fact of life. Anyway, I've got an appointment March 6th, but I ran out of medication last 2 weeks ago. So it's been a painful couple of weeks, honestly. So if I do look tired, that's why. It is waking me up every morning. My foot wakes me up around 4:30, and I just decide to stay up because if I try to lay back down, it just continues to hurt. So I get up and get on it, put a little pressure on it. It does hurt, but nothing I can't deal with. And we only got one more week to the podiatrist, so hopefully we'll get it figured out. All right, you guys, as you remember, last week I went in on the left side. I vary it up left, right. Some people put it in their thighs or in the back of their arms and stuff. I've just stuck with my stomach this whole way. We're on week 17. This is going to be the week 17 shot. So next Wednesday, tune back in to see the week 17 update. Today's the week 16 update. So anyway, we went left side last time, and the only restriction in the directions is 2 inches away from your belly button, right? 2 inches away. I like to try to find one of the fattier places. I don't like to inject in the same place. So sometimes I'll inject up here, sometimes down here, sometimes in the middle. Never above or below. That's a personal choice. I think you probably could, as long as you're 2 inches away from your belly button. Wipe it up with alcohol, let it dry off a little bit. Now, somebody a while ago asked me, do I get the chills when I inject this? And no, I don't. And I did the first couple of times, and maybe I was just getting used to it. Now what I do on shot day, I'll leave this out about a half an hour before I come in here and to do this video. And by the time I'm getting around to injecting it, I think it's about room temperature, pretty much. So we're getting ready to inject the 5 milligram. I just alcohol sterilized the area. It's a very easy process with these Mounjaro injectors. Very, very easy. You remove the gray cap at the end. That will expose the needle that's in there, so it has access to your belly. Put it up against your belly, 2 inches away from your belly button. And then you'll notice that there's a lock, unlock button switch. You just twist this cap from the lock position to the unlock position, and now it's armed. So when I push this purple button, you'll hear 2 clicks. The first click is the injector going into driving the fluid into my belly. And the second click is that injector coming to the end of its line, meaning the injection's done. So we're listening for the second click. After that second click, I look down into this clear window to see the gray plunger. Hopefully you guys will be able to see that this week because somebody asked to. So here we go. All right, so let's do it. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. That's 1 click, 2 clicks. I look down, you can see it, right? Do you see it? Gray plunger. That means the injection is complete. I can pull it out and I am done. If you're new to the channel, I hope you subscribe and hang around. Make sure to comment. If you got any questions, ask them in the comments below. If you got comments about anything I talked about or any corrections to make, I often am wrong. And I will freely admit it. Just let me know. In fact, I'd appreciate it if you did. We'll see you next Wednesday, you guys. Can you believe I'm below 160? Holy crap!